What up, y'all? Got this second part of this collection update for you guys here today. I meant to film this like back to back with the last one, but I got busy. I filmed that last one kind of late, and I wanted to go to bed. I have work in the morning, so I'm just doing it here on a Sunday morning early. It's like 8, so it's not that early. But yeah, I got the rest of this stuff here, a nice stack. It's a staple of my videos now, is the tail peeking through. We are listening to Void Omnia in the background, the album Dying Light. Great kind of American black metal record. Kind of atmospheric. It's considered atmospheric black metal. I kind of hear it. But yeah, it's a good record. I like it a lot. No beer. This is a Dr. Pepper Dark Berry Zero. If you guys ever had this Dr. Pepper, it's great. Big fan of this one. Alright, so I'm going to get on into it. First thing I got here is For Kunsten my evig vik by Kvist. Apparently that's the Norwegian word for twig. And it's a really cool record. It's kind of slow and kind of mid-paced for the most part. It gets cooking every once in a while, but it's really, really a good kind of second-rate Norwegian black metal album. Let's show the inside here. I came with a cracked case, as things from Amazon tend to. Yeah, it's pretty melodic. It's not like snoozer. It's slow, which is also really nice, because that sometimes can really be the case where slower black metal gets really boring really quick occasionally. So I'm really glad it's not that. But yeah, it's a good record. Kvist. Classic. Bolt Thrower. This is War Master. This is one of the newer reissues. I always loved this album cover. And I've always loved the Bolt Thrower logo as well. Just a digipack reissue from Earache. This is a 2018 reissue from, I think I got this also from Puke Vomit Records. It's pretty good, man. I mean, it's not the best Bolt Thrower, I think. This is their third record. This is right after Realms of Chaos, or Realm of Chaos, or whatever it is. And right before the Fourth Crusade, which is my personal favorite Bolt Thrower record. But it sounds like they're starting to refine pretty good. It's a great record, man. It's so much fun, and the aesthetics of this band is great. The whole artwork, some nerd fodder, death metal. Yeah, this band like writes the same song over and over, which is interesting sometimes. But yeah, whatever. I'll leave it at that. Next, two from the same band. Something that always gets my attention is Hellstar. This is Burning Star from '84 and Remnants of War from '86. This is their first two albums. I have their first four now, being these two, A Distant Thunder and Nosferatu. This is the debut. Check out that sick album cover. It also has the original demo from '83 on here as well. I really like this a lot. That'd be a really cool t-shirt. I wonder if that was supposed to be like the original cover, if that is the original cover. I really don't know. Or that could be the demo cover. Got this one in half-price books. It's not as like speed metal. It's not like proto-thrash. Maybe it's definitely a little proto-thrash, but it's not like as thrashy as they would become. And it's definitely not proggy at all. Like, again, they would become like after Nosferatu, I think, is kind of where the transition starts happening into the more proggy side of Hellstar. And this is Remnants of War. They really like this like uneventful blue album cover deal, but I really like how it looks on here. Kind of feels like I'm in like a doctor's office in the 1980s, of which I never actually saw, but I've been in some old doctor's offices when I was a kid. Yeah, it's cool. It's another record similar in style, but it's starting to pick up pace-wise a little bit. Hellstar. Two from one of the best bands to ever come out of Russia, Civijar. this is a absolute journey. This band is too good. I absolutely do not understand why this isn't the biggest. I think the reason this isn't as big as some of the other like black metal bands in this kind of style is because he uses the Russian alphabet for pretty much everything, which is great. I appreciate the cultural, significance of using your native tongue and all that, but it holds them back, I think, to an extent. This is an avant-garde, impressive, whatever this is. This is called Grief, is the name of the album, but it's that. It looks like rope in English. It don't say rope. But yeah. And then, hold on 1 second. Alright, sorry about the cut there. I was having some allergy issues, which is something that's always happening to me early in the morning. This is the other Civijar album. Love this album cover. Obviously looks a ton like Droop's Blood in Our Wells. And this record, I would say, is a lot more like that than the regular Civijar catalog is. It's just a great release. Check out this band if you've not. Next, a reissue I was waiting for from Dark Descent for a while now. This is The Source of Dominion by Authorized. I picked this up on a pre-order from them, and it was holding up my whole order, as most pre-orders tend to do, and it is just so good, man. Authorized is such a good Swedish death metal project. It's like, it's such a classic. I'm super glad that it's finally reissued out on Dark Descent, and Dark Symphonies is what it used to be, I think it was on. And then this also comes with the demo, the Morbid Fears demo, and some stuff from one of their 4-way splits. It's just it's very American sounding, crunchy Swedish death metal. It's sort of HM2 derived, but it's really a lot more, I don't know, it sounds really American. It kind of reminds me of Wombath, if that sounds interesting, or it even has some benediction-y tinges, so killing. Authorized. Some more death metal. Absu. Obviously everybody knows them as a black thrash band, or black metal band, whatever you want to call it, but this is like, I think this is their debut record, and it's great. It's like blackened death metal. Definitely some tinges of that black metal in there already, but it's really, really, really good. I really enjoy kind of this blend that they got going on, and it's not like Bastille, it just mixes well. It really, really works. It kind of, it makes them sound Scandinavian. Great stuff. If you guys haven't heard this, I don't know why, get on it. Weird album cover and mixed emotions about it, but whatever. 3 from one of my favorite bands, Enslaved. This is my favorite Enslaved album, and I just never had a copy of it. Eld, absolute classic black metal album. This is the cutoff for a lot of people, which is their loss, in my opinion. It's great. The clean vocals, the epicness, the dorkiness, everything about it is just top shelf. I absolutely get down with this super hard, and yeah, check out that great band photos. Yeah, good stuff. And then Marjoram, underrated, really underrated black metal record from these guys. Check out this sweet photo again. Absolute menace. Yeah, it's a pretty Norwegian sounding black metal album like the other ones are. It seems like this is almost more normal than Eld. Eld seems like it was really getting into the Viking stuff, and this seems like they regressed for a record almost, to an extent, and then kind of continued on their merry progressive way. Speaking of, this is Monumentium I don't know how to pronounce this one. I might go on a limb and say this is my least favorite Enslaved album, of all of what I'm super familiar with. but it's good to have. I'm glad I have it. I'll give it more listens eventually, but it's starting to get a little weird. And not because I don't like the prog stuff, because I really do. Eld and Issa are my two favorites. I don't know if Eld is exactly my favorite. I might have jumped the gun for a sec there, but they're great. So I'll listen to this one again, and I'll touch back with you guys. I remember there's a couple things that I thought were weird with it. Next, J-Dog recommendation, Nostradamus by Divine Empire. I saw this at my local store. It's the same time as I got a bunch of stuff last video. It's good. It's like death metal with some thrashy tinges. Really reminds me of Malevolent Creation, which makes sense because the drummer on this album was in Malevolent Creation, if I remember right. Or he might have came in later, whatever it is. But it's good. It's pretty meat and potatoes, but it's got interesting riffs. It's got some really groove metal-y tinges, which is usually a quick way to make me hate your record, but they make it work really well. Yeah, Divine Empire. Next is a classic new wave of British heavy metal album, Filth Hounds of Hades by Tank. Gotta love it. I put this in the player, and it's like sleazy rock and roll, like kind of Motorheady at times, just absolute 80s metal as its finest. I love their logo. I've always really liked the aesthetic of this album cover, and I really like this back. Look at that back cover. Great stuff. I mean, it's like, it's not forgettable new wave of British heavy metal, but it's definitely like second rate. Not as many people tend to know about this band or tend to like this band. I only know about them from I think Sodom covering a couple of their songs, and obviously I've seen it on people's vests and jackets, and people talk about them in passing. But I finally went ahead and bought it, and I really like it. Even my fiance liked it, so that says something. Yeah. He fell in love with the Stormtroopers, one of the standout ones, I'd say. Blood, Guts, and Beer, Turn Your Head Around, Struck by Lightning, great one. Run Like Hell, great record. Next, two from a stellar Spanish black metal project, L4. I've shown this one before, so I'm going to show it again. This is an album I don't know how to pronounce the name of, I'm not even going to try. One of my favorite album covers ever. As I said in my 10 amazing album covers that aren't Iron Maiden or whatever video. Absolutely stellar. This is pretty decent black metal. This is a lot more derivative than a lot of what L4 did otherwise. And this is just like pretty Norse sounding black metal with maybe like a little bit of a nightmarish kind of spooky atmosphere. It's good stuff. I like this one quite a bit. It's not my favorite in the L4 catalog. I think that's Men Carton or Mancart, whatever. But this is a great record. And then this, which is Into the Shades of Hate. This is the first 3 L4 full lengths on a CD, like special edition. And of course, one of the discs is loose. So this is Into the Dark Forest, Son of the Shade, and From the Throne of Hate. So these are like really raw, kind of old school sounding records. One of them is black metal, and the other two are more of like dungeon synth and ambient. I'll show you this too. Looks really cool. L4 does a good job of their reissues here. Some information and lyrics, as you would expect. It's a good little set. I picked this up. I don't remember where I picked this up. I think it was on Dungeon Deep Records. Not Dungeon Deep, Out of Season, I think. Glad to have it, though. I like L4 a lot, and the catalog is, you know, it's not Drowning the Light huge, but it's enormous, so it's a lot to take care of if you're trying to fill in the whole collection all at once. It's going to be a process. So L4. Sorry to keep sniffling, like I said, my allergies are brutal in the morning. 3 from Death. You guys have heard all of these albums. I got Leprosy finally with the rehearsal demo from 87 and 2 rehearsals from 87. Then this is Scream Bloody Gore with some rehearsals and the original Florida session. And then The Sound of Perseverance, which is possibly my favorite Death album. But again, useless second disc. Who wants to listen to Spirit Crusher with no bass? Like, what? I don't know. That's such a weird thing to me. More demos. It's cool. But yeah. A couple more here. Next is Sojourner, The Shadowed Road. This is some epic atmospheric black metal, and it's an international project between some New Zealanders and some Swedes. And as you could probably tell, they are big fans of like Summoning and Caladan Brood and such. And I wouldn't be surprised if they told you they really liked Obsequiae, which is another band I think fits in that kind of melodic black metal, medieval sounding melodic black metal. And this is a great record. I like this a lot. I've only listened to it once, so I need to kind of give it a little bit more love, a little more time with it. But I'll get back to you probably in a video about this one, playing it in the background or something. Sojourner. Next, so I went and saw Opeth like a month ago. It was great. They were awesome live as usual, but I went into the merch table to pick up the newest album, being In Caude Vendium, whatever, and it was $35 for the regular edition CD, and then $50 for the signed version. And I was like, yeah, I ain't buying that, sorry. So I bought an overpriced long sleeve, and I bought this on Amazon pre-order. Extended edition version. This comes with 3 discs, being the English version, the Swedish version, and then bonus tracks. Front cover there, really like that. And Farquaad from Shrek, I'm pretty sure that is. All 3 discs. I really do dig this album. I haven't listened to it in Swedish yet, but he was singing in Swedish for the first 2 tracks live, which was interesting, and I like to hear it like that. It's something about it sounds really genuine, and I get down with that. So that is the newest Opeth album. I have, I think, 2 more to get. I think I need, I don't know which ones I need. I need the live album, and then I have all the Opeth albums. I think there's 1 more full length I might be missing. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, Opeth. Couple more. This is Dimmu Borgir's For All Tid. I've just been meaning to get a hold of this. It's just a great kind of medieval Norwegian black metal album. Again, broken jewel case, which is annoying. I just need to order like 200 jewel cases and just go on a binge and just replace all of these. It's bothersome for me. You guys have, you know, it's a classic Norwegian symphonic black metal album. The beginning stages of it, at least. Rain Chaos by Dissection. I've been wanting to get a copy of this for a long while. This is what got me into Dissection. Unnecessary slipcase, absolutely. Front cover, for whatever reason, they didn't like that. The song Black Dragon is actually what sold me on Dissection for the first time. I didn't like this band until then. So I really do like this album. It's not as good as either the first 2, for sure, like unquestionably, but it's nonetheless a good record. I'm glad to have it and glad to own it. Hailstorm, 2 from them, No Grave But the Sea and Curse of the Crystal Coconut. This is the two newest Hailstorm records. From before the one that's about to come out this year, in June, this month actually. So I'm a big fan of this band, but these 2 records are a lot goofier. This one's a lot of fun. This one's really goofy. yeah, it sounds like they're kind of starting to run out of ideas, at least a little bit. I love this band too, which makes me sad to hear. But they're just changing. You know, they're getting a little weirder. They don't dress as pirates live anymore. Like, what is that? You know, they get a big rubber duck on stage. They're taking the party thing kind of to a new level, and I have mixed emotions about it. But from what I hear from this new record, it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be more like traditional Hailstorm. So we'll see how that goes. And lastly, this is Before the Bleeding Sun by Eternal Tears of Sorrow. This is a Finnish melodic symphonic black metal band, or death metal band, sorry. It is slow, it's moody, it has some buttload of keyboards, and it's really interesting to listen to. I had never heard this band before. Like a month ago, I listened to it a little bit on Spotify, forgot about it, and then I went to my local store and was like, oh, I recognize that name for whatever reason. So I grabbed it, and I like it a lot. It's not going to be something that I listen to every day or anything, but I'm glad to have. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you on the next one, and keep it greasy.